I heard growth and I heard self-awareness. How does growth and self-awareness work together, you may ask? But before we get there, let's talk about the Toastmasters program. In the mission that we read here this evening, we would have said, we provide a mutually supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. What we gather from this is personal growth. How do we get, we know that we can get personal growth from Toastmasters, but how do we get that sense of self-awareness? Well, I can help you. It's the Pathways Learning Experience. Now, for our guests in the room, the Pathways Learning Experience is an exciting, flexible learning platform that helps members to develop their skills. Pathways has 11 specialized learning paths for you to choose from, with 300 unique competencies, which the core competencies are public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, management, and confidence. So, I know you're still trying to figure out where is the self-awareness in this whole thing. Yeah. For our members, how many of you actually sit down in your projects and go through slide by slide and internalize the information in your projects? By a show of hands. And I guess if our wonderful and able VP was to go right into the system right now on Basecamp Manager, she'd be able to tell me that half of you spend less than 3 minutes actually in your projects. And how do I know this? When I was a vice president of education, I always used to ask my members, did you review everything in your project before giving the project? Do you understand how this project helps you grow? Are you being honest when you give your access before and your access your skills after? Are you being self-aware? And my members would always say yes, 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 and yes. And then I would go into Basecamp Management and realize that my members have spent 1 minute in their projects, which means the only thing they went in those projects for was for the evaluation sheet. Now, being self-aware in Pathways starts from the very first assessment that you take. Because in this assessment you take to select a path, it asks you questions about yourself. And in order for you to experience that growth, you have to be true with yourself. Dr. Seuss once said that no one's fewer than you. And you'll know it's my favorite, but I had to find a way to get that in there. But it's gonna ask you questions about yourself. What do you wanna gain? What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? And if you're not truthful with the assessment, you will never see the growth that you want to achieve. Let's fast forward into the project. When you get into the project and you go to complete a project, it's gonna ask you to access these skills before, which are just basic questions to ask you. Are you comfortable speaking in front of a crowd? Are you comfortable receiving feedback? Are you comfortable using your speaking space or using your vocal variety? It asks these questions and you're able to answer on a scale of 1, which is developing, 2, emerging, 3, accomplished, 4, excelled, and 5, exemplary. Now, after you would have completed the project, it then asks you to access your skills after, which is the same questions once again, and you would then answer truthfully after giving this project. Do you feel comfortable speaking in a crowd? So Pathways then tracks this progress of where you felt you were, and then now where you see you are, and then it gives an update to your Basecamp manager to say the growth that it sees in you. So by the time you get your recommendation for your second path, it knows already what you as the member has to grow. So can you see now where self-awareness and personal growth meets in the Pathways Learning Experience?
Yes.
So now I feel like I have achieved my goals here at this lectern. So for those that do not spend time in your path, I challenge you to not just look for your evaluation sheets. I challenge you to actually go through your path. Watch the tutorials. Be honest when you access your skills before. Be honest when you access your skills after, and you will truly see the growth that we see in people that actually do that. Madam Chair.